What's up, guys? We're back with another video. I should call you guys something. I gotta figure out a name for my viewer base. I was thinking maybe something like cool, like dragons, because I hoard GPUs, so I guess you would all be my dragon army. We'll think on it. Anyways, so if you guys remember, way back when I did a haul video where I had gotten a bunch of free tech from my coworker Andrew. Really nice guy. He's super awesome. He's actually moved up in the corporate ladder. Good for him. He's pretty cool. I got a bunch of really cool stuff. And one thing, I have been trying to get stuff and get just the energy up to make this video about this one item. So I got it and I saw it and I was like, I have to make a video on that. No ifs, ands, or buts. I have to make a video on this. And there was a couple times where it was just like, this video isn't gonna happen. I can't deal with this. I can't get this right. This isn't working. This died. And we'll get into the whole gist of it here in a hot minute. So let me grab the thing in question. So in that tech pile was an Accelero? Yeah, Accelero S2. And I personally, back in the day when I was younger, I wasn't hugely into tech. If it ran, it ran. That's all that mattered to me. So I'm not familiar with these sort of like aftermarket coolers and stuff like that. But I saw this, I thought it was cool, and it said it's for HD 3600 series and 9600 GT. Now, if there were more than one HD 3600, I would have done more. But there's actually only one. It is the HD 3650. That is the card in the HD 3600 series. That's the only card. And then, of course, 9600 GT is the 9600 GT. I tried to get basically the most powerful cards in their lineup. So I tried to get the 1 gig DDR2 or GDDR2 variant of the HD 3650, and then I got the 1 gigabyte variant of the 9600 GT. I think this is the 512. I think I just went to try and get a 9600 GT. I think I wasn't messing around with that. There was a certain point where I got really tired. So put that off to the side and we'll get down the storyline here. So I bought, in total, for this, so there's the 3 in there, technically only 4. I bought 4? 4. I bought 4 HD 3650s, and here's one. Here's one. There's 2 in there. There's one in my... Yeah, there's one other one in there that I bought for the purpose of this video. There's another one I have actually, but I bought that for the collection because it was actually just a rare AMD card that happened to be an HD 3650, funnily enough. And then there's the one in my GPU graveyard. Anyway, so let's put this guy aside and we'll get to this. So, actually this one first. So starting off, this was actually, I believe, the second one. This was the second one I bought. And it came in, and I tested it, it worked fine. And this fan was really, really far gone. It was making very loud, whirring, grinding noises. So I was like, okay, let me just take it apart and put some oil in the bearings and see if that'll help loosen it up. And I was trying to do that, and I couldn't get the oil in there properly. It wouldn't go in. So I was like, okay, let me try popping the fan off, because some people can do that with these fans. That didn't work. The fan broke, actually. And so I was like, well, now I gotta get another fan. So I was like, I went online, looked up the fan model, found the exact fan model, by the way, and ordered it. I was like, okay, I'll just get a new fan, replace it, it'll be fine, get on with the video, and it'll end up being cool and get lots of views, and I'll be rich and cool and meet all of my role models, all my tech role models. So yeah, you know, help the community along the way as well. I'd love to do giveaways. Oh my god. Anyways, getting off track. The fan model came in, did not fit. the little rings right here, or the little like mounting points right here, did not line up. I don't know why. I don't know why, because they're exact same model. I guess it's just from board partner to board partner, it's different some reason. Because this is a Vision Tech one, and this one is a Diamond one. Our Diamond Multimedia one. So I guess there's a difference. In terms of between the cards, though, the fans are the same. I don't know. It's stupid. So then I put this one aside, and then I got... Actually, I think that one came before this card. So that one was the first one. That one died. Then I got this card. Then I got the Sapphire card, but I didn't want to use that because it only had 512 of memory, and the purpose was I wanted to get the most, like, power-hungry card, get the card that would push itself to the most. So I just kept that card because it was cool, good for the collection. And then I got this card, and that tested perfectly fine, worked perfectly fine. And then the fan was fine too. So then I just put this in a an anti-static bag, along with the 9600 GT, and just put it off to the side right behind this camera actually, and it sat there for months and months and months and months. Months and months and months. And then finally I worked up the energy to finally do this video, and I was so excited. So I had to start taking temperatures, of course. When I started taking temperatures with this card, I was getting artifacting. I am not sure what to call this. Let's just see what happens, eh? Oh! This is a dumb idea. Okay, I'm going to stop. I think it's dead, folks. But I thought it was just my PCIe slot being weird. So I sort of just like, I don't know if I have that video anymore. I wiggled it around and the artifacts would like freak out on screen. It just didn't make sense, you know? It didn't help that I had to run all the HD3650s in Windows 7 because there's no drivers for them in Windows 10. And it is so frustrating because the 9600 GT drivers in Windows 10 works wonderfully. It was so easy to use and do. I benchmarked that card like that. It was done. I didn't have to fucking fiddle with it for hours on end or days on end. Oh my god. Drove me nuts. These cards drove me nuts. Oh my god. If I wasn't against GPU violence, I'd throw this across the room right now. But anyways, getting off track. So, after that, I had issues with my motherboard. It would not boot anymore. Hold on. It would not boot. I have no idea why this happened, but for some reason something got funky in the BIOS, so I had to completely clear CMOS, or CMOS, whatever. I had to disconnect power, drain all the capacitors. I had to completely, like, reset this motherboard, basically. And after that, it worked fine. I was able to get it booted into Windows 7, and, like, there was no artifacting, nothing. I was like, okay, that's fine. I'm done with this. It's 2 a.m. I want to go to bed, so I went to bed. And then I think that sat on my test bench for 3 days because I had a lot of school homework to do. I'm going to school to be an electrician. Long story. But it sat there for 3 days, and then when I finally had the time to go and do the video or do the temp testing with this card, I couldn't. Because the card died. For some reason, overnight, over those 3 days, it just died. It doesn't display anymore. So I had no, like, I didn't know what to do. I was like, okay, well, shoot. I was like cursing myself. I was pretty upset. I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I've got to find another HD3650. And then it dawned on me. The one with the fan that died was still operational. It still worked, but I needed the fan to work to have proper temps. Because it wouldn't have made sense to do a card with no fan in it for the temps, because then it wouldn't be getting its maximum amount of cooling. So I was like, I really hope that the fans are interchangeable between these cards. And actually, they are. This fan is from this card. So this one works perfectly fine. This one's toast, this card. I don't want to even look at it anymore. So now we're basically in present day. I think it was over the course of the last 2 days. I did all the testing on this card, fan and everything, and and I was really happy. There were some times where I forgot actually to do like idle temps and things like that. So what I'm gonna do now is I don't have graphs or anything. I apologize. I'm gonna try and make it as clean as I can on screen. But first we're gonna do the idle temps on screen. So the idle temps of this card, I don't remember what they are exactly. I know I have to go to, I know I listed everything. Yeah, so the idle temps on the stock coolers are up on screen now. I don't remember, I believe it was like 40C, 40 or 30, actually no, I think it was actually higher than 40C. It's closer to 50 something, or 50, I believe. So there was that, and then we'll pass those away, and then we'll do the under load temps with this card, stock cooler and everything. I think that topped out at like 59. I could not get this card to go above 59 Celsius. I don't know why. I had Furmark out and everything. I was using Unigine Heaven at first, but then I was like, I'm pretty sure Furmark hits these cards a lot harder. And oh wait, no, I tried to use Furmark. I had to use Heaven. I got it up to 59C. That was the hottest I could get it on the stock cooler. I tried to use Furmark, but Furmark is not supported on these cards. They're missing, what the fuck are they missing? I can't remember. They're missing something. They're missing an instruction set that allows Furmark to run on these cards, basically. I don't remember what it was. My brain's been fried from homework. So, did the temps on these cards. That's off screen now, hopefully. Me trying to make sure I do this properly, because I don't want to retake this video, believe me. I can feel my blood boil as I talk about it. So, I kept running into problems making this video, and I gotta be honest, I'm pretty sure it was in nature's will to make me not do this video. So I ran into an issue. Well, one of the issues I ran into with this cooler is these little aluminum heat sinks that you put on top of the chips, the memory chips. They were getting way, or not getting too hot. They had a lot of really old adhesive on them, and I was not comfortable putting that on this GPU because it would have destroyed the thermal pads, and I don't have replacement thermal pads. I would have had to have waited. And I'm glad I didn't decide to do it with the sticky stuff, because I had a lot more other things I needed to do temps on with the stock cooler. So these had a lot of sticky stuff on them. They had to soak in isopropyl alcohol 90% for like, I think 2 hours, and I had to constantly go and like wipe them and scrape them until they were nice and smooth and not sticky. Then the biggest problem I ran into, and that made me the most afraid working on these cards, because this was the biggest chance I was going to have at killing them. And I don't know how, I don't know why it worked, but it did. So I have a video. I'll just pop it up right now. This has got to be the dumbest thing I've ever done. These aren't even the OG screws. They're ones I picked out of my screw bin. And we're back. Yeah, so these are the screws I used. These are not the screws you use with this cooler. The cooler didn't come with screws. So, yeah. That certainly got weird fast. They actually enlarged the holes I'm noticing right now. I don't think I can take it out and show you. Right here, you can actually tell the holes are a little wider. Yeah, here. You can tell the middle holes right here and here and here and here. They're all much wider than the other ones, and that's because I had to use those screws. Just put that back. And so there was that, and I put that on. I'm gonna be honest with you, I wholeheartedly did not expect this to work. Give me 1 second. I have to stop the video and start it because I know this can's gonna cut me off in a minute. Give me 1 second. Okay, we're back. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah, mounting screws. I'm gonna be honest, like that thing was wrenched on there and I was afraid I was gonna break the GPU die in half. I'm gonna be honest. These don't have IHSs on them, they're bare GPU die cards, both of these. So I was already pretty terrified. I was like, I'm gonna kill these cards. I'm legitimately gonna kill these cards for a video. A video I'm not even going to be able to finish because they're going to be dead. Believe it or not, I put this cooler on those cards, and by the way, putting these on the thermal pads here sucked. They were falling off all over the place. I had to really push down on those memory chips to get these to stay, but when they did, it was all fine. So I'm going to let the numbers speak for themselves. I'm gonna put the idle temp on screen with the cooler. I'll let that go, and you know, I'm pretty astonished because the temps, they were lower, and not just a little bit lower, they were significantly lower, like a lot, by a lot. So now idle temps are gone. The big change, the big change is the underload temps, which I'll show on screen now. It was like almost a full 10 degrees, I believe, if I can recall, which is insane. Because this, like, yeah, it's got heat pipes and everything, but like that fin density is so low, and it's only 2 heat pipes, and it's just a little bit of piece of copper. I was astonished. This is a full copper block with a fan. And it's not like it had bad mounting pressure. Like, this thing is on. It's really squished on, and it's not like angled or anything. I made sure of that. It worked. So I was like, okay, this is pretty freaking cool. Now, the weird part here, we'll get to that at the end of the video. I'll skip that and we'll talk about it at the end of the video. I just couldn't believe it. So then what I decided to do is the whatchamacallit thing should be away, the underload temps should be away. So what I decided to do then, because these were running with no fan, basically, it was on an open air test bench. I'm sure you would actually even be a little bit cooler because inside of a tower you have decent airflow running across the GPU typically, especially these days. Maybe back then, not so much, but like usually you probably had some sort of airflow running across the GPU. If you had this on, it'd be a little bit cooler. So that's what I did. I actually took, give me 1 moment, I'll grab the fan. So this is just a fan I pulled off a case. It actually moves a fair bit amount of air for an older fan. It's an AVC. If that means anything to anybody. Model DS092225R12MC238. It ran, not gonna lie, it went. So what I did, I took that fan and I pointed it the best I could at this cooler, and it was at an angle, so it was really only cooling this part of the cooler. I'm sure if you like zip tied a fan to this, like that, I'm sure it might be a little bit better of a time. But I did that, And I was even more blown away. The temps shot down. Like, by probably another 6 or 8 degrees. It was crazy. So I have those scores actually. We'll put the idle temps on screen for the fan right now with the fan. And we'll let that go. I can't believe this works. It's so stupid. And now that you've seen that, we'll take that down and then we'll move off to the underload temps with this. And keep that, come on, yada yada yada. This is going to be a long video, man. And so, okay, so now you've seen those. So that was pretty freaking crazy. So, yeah. It's like, okay, well, that was a success. I expected this to fail hardcore, but it didn't, and it was a success. So then I did the HG3650, and then I did the 9600 GT. By the way, I couldn't overclock either of these cards. I don't know how you overclock these older cards. I tried MSI Afterburner. That was probably not the program I was supposed to use. If anybody knows the program I'm supposed to use, please leave a comment down below, because I would really love to know. Why is there another fan? Anyways. So yeah, so then I did the 9600 GT. This is a bit of a different card, because it only cools the GPU die. The chips actually on the board are not cooled. I'm pretty sure they're only cooled by passive air, or by the airflow that the cooler, I don't know how they would even stay cool. I guess maybe they just don't get hot enough. I'm not sure. I wanted to do the cooler with the heat sinks on them to see maybe if it would go a little bit better. And yeah, I just didn't have the energy, sorry. So this is a 9600 GT, the 512 megabyte, but this is an overclock version, so it is actually a little bit faster than the base version of this card. And that was one of the reasons I went with this one as well. So this one actually has a little bit of a higher TDP, hence why the PCIe 6 pin. So this one was even worse story with the mounting. So I actually had to take the mounting plate or bracket off this one, and thank God, if you probably can't see it very well, but there's actually holes all below these mounting screws that match up perfectly with this bracket. So I had to take this bracket with these screws and do it with this cooler. It was so janky, and like I said, I was so afraid I was gonna kill these cards. I thought I was gonna kill these cards. Turns out, thank God I didn't. They both work. So again, we'll put the idle temps on screen for the stock cooler right now. I might even put them earlier. I don't know. We'll see. We're waiting for images to go, and we'll cut that there. And if you guys want to look at these temps properly, then please just pause the video, because me and my infinite wisdom, I always forget to give myself enough time to make it longer. I'm sure I've already screwed myself up in this video already. I do a lot of cleaning up my own mess. Anyways, now we'll do the underload temps with the stock cooler. Like I said, I tried to overclock these. I would have loved to overclock and see how much further I could push these cards and see how much hotter they could get. And then in addition, like, you could probably, if you figure it out and you get one of these, you could push these cards way further than the stock coolers. So now the underload temps are done, we'll cut those, and then we'll do the idle temps with the cooler. So with the Accelero S2 cooler, and waiting, yada yada yada. And now we'll take those down, and then we'll switch right over to the underload temps. Again, crazy difference. Like, I did not expect this large a difference between these coolers. And then we'll bring that down, and then we'll do the, now we'll put up the idle temps with the fan. Did I do idle temps with the fan? I might have just done underload temps with the fan. Either way, I'll correct myself. So idle temps up. We'll wait another few seconds here. Yada yada yada. How's your guys' day going? Probably well. And we'll bring those down and put up the load temps, underload temps. I'm doing great. You know what's funny? I have to actually add these back into the collection, and they've been sitting here for so long. I run out of room in the collection. I'm just stacking GPUs on top of the bins now. I have another bin under my bed that I gotta put them in, but sort of funny. So now the underload temps are done with the fan. Alright, so now that those are done, now you understand that this was insane difference, yada yada yada. So I actually did scores. I took Heaven benchmark scores with both of these GPUs. This one was done on this was done on Unigine Heaven. Apologies, I meant to say Unigine scores. This was done on Unigine Heaven, this card. And this card was done on Unigine Valley because this is the hello? Camera. Hey. You good? You done? That was weird. Sorry about that. I don't know why it went out of focus like that. So this was done because this works on Windows 10. My Windows 10 drive has Valley on it because Valley can be a little bit harder on GPUs, and I really tried to stress the GPUs I get added to the collection decently, not super hard, but on a decent not pace, a decent strength, because if they can't survive one Unigine Valley run, then they were obviously at the end of their lifespan. Anyways, so I did the scores, and actually, funnily enough, with the cooler, this card, within margin of error, sometimes it was higher, sometimes it was lower, really didn't see any difference in the score. Like, maybe it could have gone up like a couple extra points, I'm not really sure. It didn't really improve though. Now the 9600 GT, it was also a little margin of error, like a couple points below and above sometimes with the runs. But a lot of the time, it actually was like probably 10 or 20 points higher with the aftermarket cooler over the stock, which is interesting. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I don't have pictures of it because, like I said, it was most of the time margin of error. I didn't bother with the pictures, but I figure I would just mention that. And that's about it, actually. Now that I think about it, I've gone through my list of stuff. If you actually come across one of these and you're running like a 9600 GT or HD 3650 in like a retro PC build, I would highly recommend. Get the proper mounting screws though, because these were not long enough. Get something much longer, a little bit smaller size, and get yourself two dead HD 3650 so you can steal the mounting brackets from them and use them on your 9600 GT. No, just find a mounting bracket. But yeah, super cool and interesting video that I wanted to do, and I've wanted to do for a while, and I'm glad I finally got it done. So now I can put this, I'm not going to throw this out, this is too cool, so I'm just going to put this like in storage somewhere, and then I'll put this back in the GPU graveyard and put these in inventory somewhere. Thank you so much for watching. I understand this is a longer video. I apologize. I tried to keep my videos not too long, but what are you gonna do? Sometimes I ramble. Like I said, very interesting video. Let me know if you've ever actually come across like an old aftermarket cooler and like screwed around with it, or done any silly cooling solutions. I've definitely done some weird stuff in the past. Like for the PC build-off, in the case where the drive, DVD drives go, I actually double-sided taped a fan, in that area to move more cold air into the system to keep things cooler, which should help performance a little bit with the overclocking, which I was an idiot with the overclocking anyways. Thank you guys so much for watching. Appreciate you sticking around. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and ding dong notification bell. I'll hopefully be back with a new haul soon. I'm going to try and do some more different types of videos over these next few times I do videos, so if you see different content and it's not teardowns all the time, then that's just what I'm doing. The teardowns will continue. I'm not giving up on those. I do want to do a teardown of every single graphics card I get my hand on. And I do want to do one actually on, I believe, the 9800 GX2 next. So that'll probably be my next teardown video. That's going to be a complicated one. I'll have to go through it a couple times. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next video, and later.